The GUAM Organization for Democracy and Economic Development is a regional organization of 4 post-Soviet states: Georgia, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, and Moldova. Overview. GUAM's charter was signed during a summit in Yalta on 6 to 7 June 2001 by the 4 current members in Uzbekistan, which later withdrew. According to the former Ukrainian President Viktor Yushchenko, the charter set objectives for cooperation, such as promoting democratic values, ensuring stable development, enhancing international and regional security, and stepping up European integration. Moldova's 2000 elections were won by the Party of Communists of the Republic of Moldova, who subsequently realigned their foreign policy towards Europe shortly before the parliamentary election held in March 2005. In June 2007, GUAM nations agreed to form a 500-personnel joint peacekeeping force to battle separatism. Given the existence of the Russian-led Commonwealth of Independent States, GUAM is sometimes seen in Russia as a way of countering the Russian influence in the area and is part of a strategy backed by the United States. However, GUAM leaders repeatedly and officially dismiss such claims and declare a strong willingness to develop close friendly relations with Russia. Moreover, Azerbaijan, the group's main energy power, has managed to avoid any conflicts with Russia in recent years. Although the largest portion of GUAM population is Ukrainians, the Ukrainian language is not an official among GUAM participants. Russians are the second biggest national community of the organization. In 2014, the group moved to use English instead of Russian as a working language at its meetings. Members: current Georgia, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Moldova, former Uzbekistan. Observers: Turkey, Latvia. Organizational structure: Council of Heads of States, Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Council of National Coordinators, Council of Permanent Representatives, Parliamentary Assembly, Business Council, Secretariat. There are 7 working groups and a ruling committee, as well as an economical forum that responsible to the summit and secretariat. Transport, trade and economics, power engineering, information science and telecommunications, tourism, culture, science and education, the struggle against terrorism, organized crime and dissemination of drugs, virtual law enforcement center, ruling committee on cooperation in trade and transportation, project on cooperation in trade and transportation, cooperation with other countries and international organizations, particularly GUAM, USA Virtual Law Enforcement Center, project on cooperation in trade and transportation, GUAM, Japan, GUAM, Poland, GUAM, Czech Republic, United Nations, OSCE. Others. History. Cooperation between Georgia, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, and Moldova started with the GUAM Consultative Forum, established on 10 October 1997, in Strasbourg and named after the initial letters of each of those countries. In 1999, the organization adopted the name GUAM due to the membership of Uzbekistan. A summit in Yalta on 6 to 7 June 2001 was accompanied by the signing of GUAM's charter, which formalized the organization. However, in 2002, Uzbekistan announced that it planned to withdraw from the organization, and following this announcement started to ignore GUAM summits and meetings. On 24 May 2005, shortly after the Azerbaijan massacre, Uzbekistan finally gave an official notice of withdrawal from the organization to the Moldovan presidency, thus changing the group's name back to GUAM. In the years following the signing of its charter, the grouping was generally considered to have stagnated. For example, only 2 of the 5 leaders attended the 2004 meeting in Yalta. while the GUAM official website still showed the old Georgian flag and listed Uzbekistan as a member. A summit of GUAM took place in Chisinau, Moldova on the 22nd of April 2005. The president of Uzbekistan, Islam Karimov, failed to attend, as did the president of Poland, Alexander Kwasniewski, who had been invited as an observer. The presidents of Romania, Traian Băsescu, and of Lithuania, Valdas Adamkus, both participated as observers, as did the U.S. Department of State Special Representative for Eurasian Conflicts, Stephen Mann, and the OSCE Secretary General Jan Kubis. The Russian ambassador in Chisinau criticized the fact that Russia was not invited to attend. Ilham Aliyev, the president of Azerbaijan, said after the summit, "Our organization is emerging as a powerful force, participating in resolving problems in the Caspian Black Sea region," while the president of Ukraine, Viktor Yushchenko, said that a new page had been written in the history of the organization. From 22 to the 23rd of May 2006, Ukraine and Azerbaijan announced plans to further increase the GUAM member relations by renaming the organization GUAM Organization for Democracy and Economic Development and establishing its headquarters in the Ukrainian capital. The other members said this was a remarkable step and development. The summit participants were also expected to adopt GUAM bylaws, a declaration and a communique. On the 30th of May 2006, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry announced plans to establish GUAM peacekeeping forces. On the 19th of June 2007, presidents of Lithuania, Poland and Romania joined the leaders of GUAM member states at the GUAM summit in Baku, Azerbaijan. Also participating at the summit were the Vice President of Bulgaria, the Vice Speaker of the Estonian Parliament, the Minister of Economy of Latvia, and the high-level representatives of the United States, Japan, OSCE, the Organization of the Black Sea Economic Cooperation, UNESCO, and heads of diplomatic missions accredited in Azerbaijan. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Pavlo Klimkin said on December 5, 2014 that at a session in Basel, Switzerland, he proposed that participants speak English instead of Russian, which was the main language used in official gatherings in the Soviet Union. He said that the other representatives agreed. Issues. On the 21st of April 2005, the GUAM countries formed a common front on several issues in the CIS Foreign Ministers' Council that was held at the time in Moscow. Ukraine, Georgia and Moldova lodged complaints against restriction imposed by Russia against some of the national products. At the same time, the four GUAM countries made a proposal to discuss the frozen conflicts of Transnistria, Abkhazia, South Ossetia and Nagorno-Karabakh. Lastly, the other three GUAM nations supported Ukraine's proposal to condemn the Holodomor, the 1930s famine in Ukraine, as a genocide. Another of the issues associated with GUAM is competition between two proposed transportation corridors to better link Europe with Asia. Russia, Azerbaijan and Iran have already been through rounds of negotiation on the plan. The North-South Transportation Corridor, neighboring countries have expressed enthusiasm as well. This corridor would travel along the border between Russia and the Baltic states of the European Union, then continue south through Ukraine. Secretary General, 2007. Former Valery Chechelashvili, 2016. Present Altai Afendiev.